Fucking hell almighty. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just don't. Why is it still playing in my ear? Can you hear me? I'm so frustrated right now. You can't even begin to tell you. How about that? Is that any better? Can you hear me now? I don't understand. I just. How about that? Anything? Good Lord Almighty. I just want the goddamn thing to work. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna fucking get it. Can you hear me now? Is that any better? For fucking Christ's sakes. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I don't understand why the problems. I think it's because my laptop reset. But I do have a feeling that I'm about to hear myself back in my ear any second now, which I'm doing right now. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Output is this. This is unbelievable. I swear to God, I'm getting attacked by the deep state. Attacked by the deep state. I don't know what else to do, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what else to do. Speakers, headphones, output, input. Hmm. I'm just sitting here like a fucking stump on a log here. I got nothing. Maybe if I try different headphones, I don't know. It's my last option. Why is it still? I don't. Nothing about this makes sense. Nothing about this should be happening the way it's happening, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm not gonna lie. I can see my sound right there is going out. Why am I hearing it back? Headphones connected. Output headphones. Mic. Now it's playing these speakers. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I play a video. What happens? Call Hal. I'm not going to bother Hal. I sent him a link. He's like, he's doing stuff with Ethan's house. Congratulations to Ethan on his house. But let me see. Let me see what happens if I play a video. If I can turn this down. Use wire headphones. Yeah, let me go out and buy a pair of fucking wire headphones. Sorry, not that I should be aggravating you guys. I'm just gonna try anything, I guess. See what happens. Let's see. I feel like a piece of shit.
Не случайно.
See, no, I can't hear that. It's just, this is great. This is just fucking wonderful. Just fucking wonderful.
Илон Маск.
All right, I can hear that now. It sounds crackling. It sounds good for a bit, then it went back to crackling. Let me see. Let me try one more fucking thing. Is it keep going? I think you got a short in your headphones. We can understand you mostly. Audio for a video is good on our end. Your sound is better. Voice is good. Sounds okay. Sounds good now. Sounds great now. We can hear the Ruski. It's good. All right, I'll keep going. Don't do anything, Chris says. All right, I'll keep going. I'll keep going. I'm not gonna leave you guys. No one move. All right, guys. I am so sorry. That literally just took a fucking half hour to try to figure that out. Honestly, I think it has to do with my title. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it has to do with the title of the stream. I don't think people, I don't think anybody wants Ukraine being celebrated, or, you know, the reasons to why this war is happening to be talked about. The show must go on. But yes, thank you guys for joining me. I'm so sorry. Hit the like button. Please share the stream out. It's the least you can do. I think it's my 14th fucking stream today. Meanwhile, I haven't gotten 2 words out. I don't know. I think it has to do with the reset on my laptop. To tell you the truth, I think everything just kind of went back to, I don't know, default settings. I'm not even sure. It was fine last time, but I'll get it figured out. I think I have to get it figured out because we got Philip Ittner joining us in less than a half hour now. And again, like I said, I sent a link to Hal. If Hal can join us, wonderful. If he can't, totally understood. Again, congratulations to Ethan on his new house. From everybody here at Blood Politics, all the Bryantologists, all the lobsters, we send Ethan our congratulations. Yeah, we best the best warm home, you know, the best home warming you can possibly have. And I'm sure Hal's getting all the tech stuff done for him, so I think he's in good hands. I can hear you now. Sounds darn good now. All right, good. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell has happened. Like I said, I can see my audio going out. It's the fact that it's looping in my headphones that's killing me because you can't. Again, I think I said this last time this happened. It's like playing that game, the potty game, where you put the headphones on and you try to say stuff, but it makes it so you can't understand what you're saying yourself. It's one of those situations. What's up, Wes? Thank you for being here for 10 months, brother. We knew you could do it. I don't think I did anything, honestly. I don't think I fixed anything. I'm not going to lie. I think I just turned down the audio source that is doubling. So it was coming out of my laptop speaker, so I just muted the laptop. Hopefully it works with the hopefully it works with the video, and when Phil comes in, I'm a little nervous about that. I don't know. Brian, check out the song "The Day the Nazi Died" by Chumbawamba. It's from 1994. Well, Corinne, little do you know that I had and still have the Chumbawamba CD. Yaakov, thank you for being here. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you donating a membership there. You were loud and clear now. Thank you, JD. Hi, Colleen. Nothing is guaranteed. Thanks for sticking with us. I appreciate it. This was my last try. If I didn't get it this time, Tony said my audio cut out 3 times last night. Yeah, somebody said Texas Paul was having some issues. So again, maybe it's nothing to do with me. I'm not a tech guy, as you can fucking tell. I don't think that has to be said. But, you know, I'll figure it out because we have to. Because like I said, not only do we have Philip Ittner joining us in obviously less than a half hour now, but some other show news to announce. This coming Wednesday on our Wednesday night live stream at 8:30, we're going to be joined by none other than Jake Bro. He is a United States Air Force veteran, and he covers this war in Ukraine very closely. He does updates on his YouTube channel and has grossed over 500,000 subscribers. A lot of people in the chat have been asking for me to talk to Jake Bro, and ask and you shall receive. So Jake Bro will be joining us Wednesday night. Very excited for that. Can't wait for that conversation. Again, we're going to be trying to dedicate a lot more of the stream this week to focusing on Ukraine. Again, like I said in the beginning, I don't know if you could hear me or not, but we are now seeing Europe's largest war, most destructive war, most deadly war since World War II, about to enter its third year. What was supposed to be a 72-hour operation. By then, the second best military on the face of the planet against a much smaller, a much less equipped ally. I mean, not ally, less equipped neighbor. A 72-hour operation is now 24 hours away from joining its third year. From Bucha to Kherson to Mariupol to the Azov steel facility to the church we saw that said, kids inside, but the Russians didn't care. Wow. I never thought in a million years that I would be covering something like this. I really didn't. Thank you, Ricky. My motto, if it ain't broke, it ain't. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate you being here for 10 months. Sorry about the beginning, guys. I really do apologize about that. Awesome shirt, Brian. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. And you can get one yourself at getdemshirts.myshopify.com. And as I've said before, and if anybody new hasn't heard before, if you go to the website, the merch website, you get anything pertaining to Ukraine. Anything that has Ukraine related, Volodymyr Zelensky's face, a flag, whatever it is, anything above and beyond the cost of the shirt, sweatshirt, glass, mug, whatever it is you get, will be donated to United 24, which is obviously the fund that Volodymyr Zelensky has started to help the Ukrainian people in their battle against the Russian horde. What's up, Jess? How are you? Thank you so much for being here. You're amazing, Brian. Stop apologizing for things out of your control. I don't like when things go wrong. Obviously, not that anybody does, but I just don't like not knowing how to fix things. Plus, when I have other people coming on the stream, I feel obviously a little extra pressure. But, well, clearly since the beginning was a shit show, I'm not going to get to everything that I wanted to get to. Of course, we got about 22 minutes till Phil joins us. But we can get into, I had so much, for once I actually had like the beginning of the show set up the way that I wanted to do it with like a clip, fucking music, my fucking monologue, a little rant I had going. Of course. The one mother time, you know what I mean? I had this to play in the background, I was going to give, in support of the Ukrainian military, of the Ukrainian citizens, of the leadership in Ukraine, and the amazing job they've done so far in dealing with, not only foreign adversaries, but, allies that don't seem to want to cooperate and would rather, extort Ukraine rather than help them. But like I said, that was just something I had planned at the beginning, and obviously a few videos I wanted to get into. Let me see if I can go here to my. I'm gonna slowly put this down. I'm like touching everything with freaking with the fucking feather. I don't want to move anything. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to do anything. But I'm gonna try. I'm going to try. I was going to get into a little bit of Trump's speech. There was about 10 minutes in there where he started listing a bunch of things, not only for USAID, but started listing a bunch of lies pertaining to, the United States aid so far that we've sent to Ukraine. So many lies to debunk, so many just easily debunked lies too, which you can look up yourself and look up the numbers and see what Europe has donated. You can see what the United States has given. You can see where the money has been spent largely, right? There's no real guesswork on it. Donald Trump also had a clip on Air Force One where he talks about how he sent over a dignitary from the United States, and Volodymyr Zelensky was too tired and he was in bed and he didn't want to meet him. Meanwhile, there's a fucking picture you can pull up on the internet of the two of them meeting, standing side by side at their meeting. I believe it was Scott. Was it Bessent? I believe it was Bessent. So again, just lies on top of lies. The Russian state media, Russian state propaganda is absolutely eating up Donald Trump's rhetoric over the last few weeks. I don't know if you saw me on Hal's show yesterday, but I talked about, how you can literally go through on the, Media Monitor YouTube page, which obviously covers closely the Russian state propaganda channels and what they've been saying, and you can just look at the titles of the videos. You know what I mean? Very happy about what Trump said. Let's go over it here. Let's see if I can show you here without crashing the fucking system. And then we'll get into a little bit of Vladimir Solovyov before we talk to war correspondent, independent journalist, resident of Kyiv, expert of Russo-Ukrainian affairs, Philip Ittner. So let's see if we can share this, my friends, without crashing the system. Please don't crash. Just don't crash. Behave. Just behave. How's that? Let me put it on the screen for you. Add to the stage. Nope, I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one. There we go. All right. So if I just type in, let's go to Media Monitor, which I recommend everybody subscribe to if you're, like me and want to closely monitor what the Russian state propaganda people are saying. And how they're receiving the United States rhetoric, our policies. Look at this. Here we go. This is, I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. This is Donald Trump as a poodle. I don't know if you saw that. Let me, how do you get back? There it is right there. There's Donald Trump as a poodle, and I don't know if you can see it, but that is Vladimir Putin holding the leash. Okay? As a poodle, Vladimir Putin holding the leash. And this was Russian state television, right? Okay, that's one. That's one. This is Russian state TV discusses Trump's plans for Ukraine and Europe. Okay, next one. This is the one we'll take a look at. Vladimir Solovyov says Donald Trump's info comes from Putin. Okay, let's see here if we can pull up a few more of the videos. Let's go. Let's go to videos. Just the titles of them alone are very telling. Vladimir Solovyov tells Europeans they should disappear. Sergei Mikhayev says Russia should strike Brussels, London, and Paris. Oleg Morozov says Russia protected Trump's reputation. Let's see here. Karen is delighted that Trump called Putin. Evgeny Popov says Trump is doing Russia's job. Vladimir Solovyov says Trump is not ready for meeting with Putin. Let's see here. Every single one of them. Just Russian state propaganda gleefully, rejoicing over the way Donald Trump is now handling this situation. Right? I mean, these are the main players, or at least a few of the main players in Russian state television, in Kremlin-backed, Kremlin-funded, talking points straight from the Kremlin. A few of them, like Solovyov, get a little bit of leeway because of their wealth, because of their their status as far as Russian state media is concerned. They get a little bit of leeway to push back, right? But again, I think that's just to make it look like it's somewhat of a down the middle type of show, which is asinine to even think, right? So that's just a little bit. That's just a little taste over the last few weeks. I mean, this is a month ago. Russian state TV is stunned by Trump's ultimatum. I mean, they continue to Putin. Pundits argue about comparing Trump and Putin. State TV says Trump owes his presidency to Russia. I mean, are we seeing a trend here? I just want to make sure that we're getting this as a group. Just want to make sure we're getting this as a group. Leaves a bitter taste, Vincent. I 100% agree, dude. 100% agree. Is that Stephen Miller? No, it's not Stephen Miller. Hey, Benny Loco. Everybody give a shout out to Benny Loco, please, for not only attending, not only filming, but also engaging like a fucking rabid wolf at a town hall, as everybody should. Everybody should be looking up on the interwebs when town halls in your town, when your city, your state are taking place. Get your ass down there. Make sure your friends are getting down there. If you have elected representatives that are going to be speaking there, make sure you know your shit. Make sure you get there and you tell them exactly how you feel. Don't hold back. And if you haven't seen the video, go check out my Blue Sky. It's bostonbryant.com on Blue Sky. It's on there. It's been very well received on Blue Sky, and I'm very happy to see that. So thank you, Benny Loco, for your activism and showing us what real democracy actually looks like. So thank you to you guys and everybody that attended that town hall too. Really passionate, aggressive, but not violent, not threatening, right? Just loud and proud, letting these people know that we're not going to stand for you just sitting there with your fucking bullshit words in a microphone, right? We want action. We want action. You may not be in the power to create laws. I know we don't have the Senate. We don't have the House. We don't have the presidency. But that does not mean that you have nothing that you can do. Unlike fucking Hakeem Jeffries wants you to believe, right? This is not their government. There is nothing that we can do. There's absolutely things that we can be doing and should be fucking doing. This is not their government. This is our government. They just happen to hold the fucking power right this moment. So thank you, Benny Loco. Appreciate that. All right, let's get into a little bit of this video before Phil pops in. And it's just very telling to me. And there's so much that we could go over, and I'm sorry that I'm not going to get to. Maybe I'll stick around. Maybe I'll stick around for a half hour after we're done talking to Phil, and that way you guys get a full show. Well, thank you so much, Jen. Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate it. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jen. There's a march on D.C. set for 3/14 for veterans and supporters. I saw that. Yep, I retweeted that on Blue Sky to remove him from power according to the Constitution. These are things like I've been seeing more and more of them. They're starting to get around a little bit more, and I know it's nothing new, right? These aren't things that are new, but there were a lot of these protests that happened, and for somebody that's chronically online, whether live streaming or looking at news or videos, trying to keep up on what's going on. A lot of these things I never heard. I never saw the dates for them. I never saw them online. I didn't see them on Blue Sky, right? But now we're starting to see a lot more of them filtering through to us. So a lot more dates, and a lot more in a lot more smaller places. Doesn't have to be the huge gatherings, right? It can just be your local school council meeting, right? Even that is important. Getting down there and getting your voice out there in the schools and letting them know, to stop endangering trans kids and stop ridiculing and ostracizing children that may not live the lifestyle that you agree with. There's a lot we could get into, and so much. So thank you so much, Jen. Yes, absolutely. Everybody make sure that you're checking out in your area what rallies you can get to, what protests you can get to, what town halls you can get to, what student fucking count. I don't give a shit what it is. Get in there in the school meetings. I don't care if it's a library meeting. Get down there. So thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into a little bit of this video, and then I'll be looking for Phil hopping in here. Let me add this here.
Описал
Yes.
нашу делегацию, что сразу видно, что это серьезный.
All right, now I got to figure out where to position myself so that I can see the Subtitles. Let's see here. Let's see if there's a better way to do this. Not that one. Maybe this, and I'll just scoot over. How's that? That works. That works. All right, we'll do it this way. All right, we'll do it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. All right, this is Soloviev telling us how gleefully watching Donald Trump's words and telling us how, basically everything he gets, everything Donald Trump's saying, all the rhetoric, all the bullshit facts, all the poll numbers and how much the United States has sent over there in aid, horseshit, Russian propaganda. All right, here we go.
Переговорщики. Здесь, с одной стороны, классическая русская, советская дипломатия, которую многие обвиняли в том, что она неспешная, неповоротливая.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit just because I know we're kind of pressed on time. Where he gets to now, we see. All right, here he is.
На вопросы по поводу пресс-конференции.
He says, now we see Trump answering questions about the press conference. I think that
Я думаю, совершенно не
many of the narratives that are being voiced,
случайно многие нарративы, которые звучат, это
largely materialized after their
те,
conversation.
которые, во многом пришли после беседы. То есть, понимаете?
So basically he's saying the shit that Donald Trump is saying, the shit that the Trump administration is saying, like I said, that the 4% poll numbers, the amount that they've sent over there, where you can forget going back to your pre-2014 borders, you can forget joining NATO. These are all things that not only Russia wants, but that Solovyov is now telling us, or at least putting it out there, that they came straight from Vladimir Putin himself. That these few little talking points that Donald Trump is now spewing materialized after he had spoken to Donald Trump, or at least after his administration had met with the Russian envoy. You know what I mean? Which is nuts if you think about it. If we actually have, and I have absolutely no doubt, the United States president just getting his information straight from Vladimir Putin and then going straight out to a microphone and repeating those fucking talking points is like, will go down in history. I know it doesn't seem like shit now, and we're like in the middle of it, and we're kind of like the frog in the fucking slowly boiling water. We don't know what the fuck's going on really, but people will look back on this moment, this time, this period, this couple weeks, and again, it will be studied and it will be dissected, and it will be people will be astonished to hear that the president of the United States took information straight from Vladimir Putin and went right to a microphone and continued to spew it against one of the United States' allies. Right? Not against just any country, not just some random nation, a nation at war with Russia that we agreed to protect when they agreed to give up their nuclear arsenal. Right? Let's see. Oh, hi, Yvonne. I'd give more Boston Brian, but I went out this weekend to Bob Marley Night, the guy who sung his dreads reached his knees. Well, don't even worry about it. I hope you recover. Get some Pedialyte, get some water in you, maybe some saltine crackers. Saltine crackers always help. But thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Hope you're comfy. But yeah, again, one of the more wild moments in this whole episode saga that is Donald Trump in United States politics, right? This is right in line with when Donald Trump first came out and he told us he didn't believe his own intelligence services. He had no reason to doubt Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin said he had nothing to do with the election, right? And I have no reason to doubt Vladimir Putin. You have no fucking reason to doubt Vladimir Putin? Well, then you're just a moron. You're just a moron then. Because sane people, smart people, people with a fucking brain in their skull know you cannot trust Vladimir Putin, right? And how stupid you look calling Volodymyr Zelensky a dictator and kissing Putin's taint when he's been in power for 27 years now? When he's killed how many fucking people? When he's rigged how many fucking elections? And you're going to come out and say Volodymyr Zelensky is a dictator because their country is under martial law because they're being invaded by a fucking ruthless, brutal, and maniacal dictator? I mean, get this. I want this to sink in. I know it's easy to be like, oh, yeah, it's fucking, he's just an idiot. He's just a mush brain, stupid. Like, this is fucking huge shit. This is huge. And I do not envy the position that Volodymyr Zelensky is now in. I don't know. Well, the problem is I do know how I would handle it. And it would probably result in the United States saying they're not going to give us any more fucking weapons or aid. Because I would literally come out and tell these people to stick their fucking missiles so far up their ass. If that's what they think, if you actually believe the things that you're saying right now, then you can take your fucking missiles and shove them fucking so far up your ass, when you blink, they'll fire. We'll do it. Europe will do it. We'll do it by ourselves. How about that? We'll depend on Europe. It's going to be tougher. We're not going to get nearly as much equipment. It's going to prolong this war. More people are going to die. But I'd rather stay true to my fucking principles than have somebody, than trying to suck up to and hold on to the fucking boot of somebody as they're walking towards the fucking Kremlin, holding hands with Vladimir Putin. Anyway, let's see what else he's got to say.
Нашей позиции, знание истории, отношения за эти 3 года между, в том числе и дипломатического трека, и возможности договориться. Ведь, посмотрите, вот звучат прям, да? Можно было обойтись гораздо меньшими территориальными потерями. Нельзя было без них обойтись, об этом речь не идет.
Here he goes. Ready?
Когда Украина кричит, что без нас вообще невозможно, вы что?
Ukraine screaming, you cannot do it without us. Now, does that not make sense to everybody? Like, again, do I really need to explain to the 500 people watching it? Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I really, really, really do apologize for the beginning of the show and the tech issues. If you could please like this, share it out on Blue Sky, tag me in it. I'll like it. I'll share it. I would appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you fucking throw in those emojis in the chat. That would be wonderful. But yeah, now he's going to, here he says, Trump calmly says you had all the time in the world, thus repeating Donald Trump's quote. All the time in the world? So we're considering the time that they're under attack as them having all the time in the world? Like, how fucking ridiculous is that? And I almost slipped back to 1990 right there, but I caught myself. I don't like this guy, Don C says. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? You know what's even crazier? Hey, I don't know if Phil's going to be joining us any minute now. See if I can pull this up. Toya says no. There's a video of him before the war. I don't know if I'll pull it up in time. Like I said, he'll be joining us any second. On the eve of the first intervention, probably there's a video of him that you can pull up, right? Of him literally telling everybody, he's on stage talking to a crowd, telling people how absolutely asinine it would be, how stupid it would be, how nonsensical it would be, how it would never fucking happen, how Russia would never go to war with Ukraine. Right? Hi, Lonzetta. How are you? The accent of the proletariat. Love this guy. Appreciate it. Yes. There's definitely no fucking bourgeoisie here. This is a fucking no bourgeoisie fucking spot. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know if I'll. Oh, you know what I have to do? Fuck, I didn't even think of it. Sorry. I have to email Phil another link because it's probably not the same link. God damn it. What an asshole. Just a fucking munch brain. Let me do this. Nope. Get this out of here. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to email him a new link. That way he has it. To Philip Ittner at... Oops, sorry. Subject, new link. The other one might work. I'm not 100% certain, just in case. Send that again. Appreciate it. Phil, if you're watching, my man, I just sent you a new link. So that should fire you up. All right, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this so nothing gets slowed down. Pull this up. Get this rid of this. All right. So while we're waiting for Phil, let me keep going on this.
Как же? Трамп спокойно объясняет, у вас было все время. Трамп своими заявлениями, особенно одно, я хочу, чтобы вы обратили внимание на одно заявление, это вот настолько...
All right. I see Philip Ittner in the waiting room. It says device not connected. Let's see here. No, I don't want to kick from studio. No, I don't want to ban him from the studio either. Yeah. No. Yep. Try again one more time. Listen, nothing's going to happen on the first try today. That's just, I can tell it's going to be one of those days. I got called out this morning for frozen pipes. It's one of those days where it all goes good and you're angry inside. All right, there we go.
Вообще объясняет многие вещи. Вот просто, пожалуйста, послушайте его внимательно. Так.
Yeah, see? Even he has issues. Even the leading Russian propagandist, with all the fucking money in the world, straight back from the Kremlin, even he has tech issues, and there he is. All right, I'm gonna get this guy off the screen. Let me remove him. I'm gonna add in our good friend, war correspondent, independent journalist, Kyiv resident, and Russo-Ukraine expert, Philip Ittner. Appreciate you joining us, my friend. Let me see if I can get you in here and figure out which one of these I can make you visible. Maybe this one? Yeah, there you are, my friend. How are you doing?
Go. I'm all right. How are you, Brian?
I'm you know what? We had some tech issues in the beginning of the show. It took us about a half hour to get going, but I'm just glad I got it up and running before you joined us, my friend. And I really do appreciate it. Let me just slide back over. Thank you. I know it's probably a very somber time and an emotional time in Kyiv and throughout Ukraine as we enter in less than 24 hours the third year of this brutal invasion. So how are you, first off? How's everything?
I'm all right. We just premiered this week's episode of the show, which I do every Sunday, called On the Edge. We had a remote interview with a member of the Ukrainian diaspora who lives in Los Angeles, talking about what it means to be Ukrainian living in America and how bizarre that is right now, and obviously watching everything from afar, but still being connected to Ukraine. So that just dropped today. We come out every Sunday. We put out an episode at 8 p.m. in Kiev, which I think is 10 a.m. Pacific. I guess that'd be 12 noon Eastern.
Well, if it's 10 Pacific, it'd be 1, right?
Is it 1?
Am I wrong?
Would it be 1, I guess, in the East? Regardless, anyhow, we premiered it last hour. So 8 p.m. Kiev time is when we always put it out, every Sunday.
Yeah, now we have a lot of people in the chat that watch On the Edge, and then they come right over to my show. So I think it's a good little Sunday lineup that people have. So people absolutely should be subscribed to On the Edge. Make sure you subscribe to Philip's Blue Sky, YouTube. Are you on Twitch or anywhere else?
Not Twitch. Still on Twitter. Although I don't know why. Mostly it's the channel is based on YouTube, so it's
Correct.
Just my name.
You know what, Phil? Can I be honest with you? I would be lost kind of still without Twitter. Like, I don't post anymore. I don't live stream to it. But as far as like getting news, following politicians, following heads of state, you just cannot do it on Blue Sky. You just, as much as I love Blue Sky and I appreciate the 106,000 followers that I now have, but it's not the same. If there's just it's not the same. People don't post the same. They might be there, they might have an account, but they don't post as regularly on Blue Sky as they do on Twitter. I understand the argument for leaving, but if the platform's not making money, if it's not a fucking profitable platform, then us being there isn't making Elon money, right? You know what I mean? It's a loss. They don't make money. So for us to be there, and I know that's the argument of, like Hal, and I think he's right to a degree, but if everybody left, I would see it. If the majority of people left, and we're all set up on Blue Sky, and you can get your news there, would be great. But it just hasn't really happened that way.
There's
But
still
anyway, not enough about Twitter.
Yeah, no, I'll quickly just make a point that there are still enough outlets that put stuff out on Twitter that I pay attention to. Whether it is Ukrainian associations or organizations or foreign ministries, or
Right.
I use it as a kind of a news resource, but increasingly it's just everything is being drowned out by the fascist voices that are just utter chaos. So I'm almost at the tipping point of leaving, not that I think Blue Sky is going to replace it, but the cost and damage ratio to my psyche, the damage to my psyche ratio,
Right.
is getting real close to the tipping point where I'm going to leave. And I don't
Yeah,
think I'm alone.
I don't even, it's not even like I scroll through it anymore, right? It's just like if I hear something somewhere, I want to go to see what they say. Like even on Blue Sky, if you see something, a lot of the times it's a post or a tweet from Twitter that they've taken a picture of that they now post on Blue Sky. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to see the original, you got to go to X. But anyways,
Anyway,
lots to talk about, not
Yeah.
only with the third anniversary, not only with Donald Trump's recent rhetoric, not only with the attempted extortion from Donald Trump, not only with the threats with Starlink and Elon Musk, but just the feelings and emotions around Kyiv and Ukraine. Have you bumped into anybody? Have you talked to anybody that
Oh, yeah.
that are they're
Sure.
feeling
No,
they're feeling the third anniversary and its effects?
Well, yeah, I mean the third anniversary, of course, everybody's exhausted.
Right,
That's a pretty
right.
easy. That's a pretty easy assessment. But the question of the reaction to Ukrainians of what is in essence a betrayal by the United States, an abandonment. That's more tricky because it's more nuanced. Because the question is, what should Zelensky be doing in response? And there's some criticism of domestic Ukrainian criticism of how he's responding to Trump's actions, because it's like he's a man child. He's going. If you stand up to him, does it do more damage than good? And I've had this conversation with my Ukrainian friends and colleagues. I mean, I have a team at on the edge. I don't do it
Mhm.
alone. I have translators, and I have a producer and a cameraman, and most of them do it out of love of country. And so there's not a lot of overhead, but I do have a team. And I talk to them about this kind of stuff. And then, of course, I live my life. I am here in Kiev, and I have my coffee shop, and I have the place I go to get a burger or a pint of beer, or whatever. I have my local grocers. So I talk to folks, and it's of course anecdotal. It's just a slice of life. It's my experience here, but the resentment of what Trump has done, the damage that he has done to U.S.-Ukrainian relations is pretty strong. They're not stupid people. They know fully that Trump is not America, and America is not Trump, just like Zelensky is not Ukraine, and Ukraine is not Zelensky. So they know that about the United
But
States.
it's got to be
It's not good
feeling to be like tied, to be so tied to a madman like that. You know what I mean? To I don't want to say need, but how much. Obviously, it's so beneficial. The United States aid, not only in military equipment, but assistance in different ways, is so crucial to Ukraine, right? But it's so crazy that Zelensky has to walk this fine line between standing up for himself, standing up for his country, and kind of still trying to keep that relationship with the United States to a point where it's beneficial to Ukraine. It's such a fine line that he has to walk, and I do not envy his position whatsoever.
Well, I mean, I had a conversation with my my camera woman yesterday. We were filming an element to drop into the interview for the show today, and we had a long conversation after we filmed and talking about this. And she was of the mind, she's critical of Zelensky. And she was like, what benefit do we get from him provoking Trump and like pushing back and saying that Trump is living in a bubble, an information bubble? My response was, well, yeah, but it's true. And my retort to her, being that I'm a guest, being that it's not my place to tell Ukrainians what to do. I am always conscious of that. But as somebody who lives here and cares about the country deeply and thinks that this war, the result of this war, will be felt globally and in America, so we have skin in the game, even if we don't accept it. My response to her was, the problem is Trump's always going to hate Zelensky because Trump works with Putin. Trump and Putin are in bed together. And I don't think we can deny it anymore. And I don't know where it comes from. And I don't know to what degree and what is the origin of it. But we're past the point of denying that he has a preference, and the preference is Putin. So he's always going to hate Zelensky, no matter what Zelensky does. So my response to her criticism of Zelensky was to say, I kind of feel like he might as well say fuck it and be like, if you're going to come for me, okay, then I'll stand up to you. I just, the dude stood up to Russian armed forces at the gates of the city, and had they gotten in, right, they would have hung him. They would have, the nearest lamppost, sort of thing. So he's already shown the cojones to put, to stand up to Putin and his soldiers on his streets, despite the fact that, yes, Ukraine really needs American help, almost existentially, and I don't think that's as near a done deal as Washington and Trump would like. But regardless, I think him standing up to Trump will do him, in the long term, more good, and the people of Ukraine more good than harm. Because at some point, people have to start standing up to him, to Trump, and saying no. And if it has to be the guy whose country has been invaded by a dictator that wants to basically commit genocide here, if that's where the pushback to Donald Trump, gains fortitude, where Americans maybe start finding their real resistance attitude, then so be it. He's not a perfect leader by any stretch of the imagination, and just tonight it appears he's already said that, like, if it took me to step down for us to get NATO statehood or membership, then I would gladly do it. The guy's exhausted. The guy is, and he's a servant. He's repeatedly said, I'm a servant of the people. I mean, that's where his television show that launched his political career and the party that he founded, it's true. But if he's the one that stands up to the dictators of Putin and Trump, and the guys who want to reorder the global order to basically take in just regions of influence and screw sovereignty. Trump is looking at Greenland and Canada, for God's sakes, with this mentality of great regional powers, which fits in exactly with what Putin, how Putin sees the world. If it takes a guy like Zelensky to be the one who is the shield, not only on the ground militarily, but also geopolitically, to say, no, we don't want that kind of world. I hope that it will find, and we should all hope that it will find traction, and that other world leaders will start to say, no, in fact, Donald Trump, as much as we value our relationship with the United States, we don't want to go back to a world like that. Because ultimately it comes from Putin.
I don't think there's any other way, honestly, Phil. I don't think. No. I mean, seeing again, and I'm drawing, my conclusions from history, and it's like it's been proven that there's no other way than pure and utter resistance at every step, pushing back at every lie. We've seen that appeasing these people does us no good, right? Even in just United States politics, the people that have kissed Donald Trump's ass and kissed his ring and gone down to Mar-a-Lago, they're great until they go against him, right? You're in the crew until you say something that doesn't go along with our feelings or our beliefs, and then you're on the outs again. So it doesn't really buy you anything to kiss the ass or to kiss the ring. It doesn't help you in the end. And I think he'll earn more respect. He'll be more respected in the end if he stands up like he is. And again, like I said, he still has to play that fine line because he's got millions of people to think about. It's not just himself. So it is a fine line, but I think pure and utter resistance, letting people know that, hey, that's Russian propaganda. That's something that, he literally got from Vladimir Putin's mouth and went right to a friggin' microphone and started spewing it out, right? Like you said to your assistant or the woman that works with you, it's the truth, right? Like truth matters, reality matters, right? We have to live in reality. We can't be in this fantasy land of, maybe if we're nice, maybe if we just, forget about what he said, everything will be okay. It's never worked like that in history. And the people that have succeeded and the people that are remembered are the people that were the most forceful and stood up the most aggressively to tyranny, to authoritarians, to fascism. And I think that's literally the only way that it's going to continue. That the only way that Ukraine can continue, and the way that Zelensky can continue this is if they continue to stand up for themselves the way that they have been doing.
Yeah, and they rely on our fear. Trump relies on the fear of his rabid base, and Vladimir Putin relies on the fear of his nuclear arsenal. And that's why the Europeans, and that's why the West, we could have ended this war a long time ago had we thrown everything we had.
Oh, absolutely.
In support of the Ukrainian people, we'd given them every weapon that they needed from the start. They would have won this war already, and this would have been concluded. Or
the ability to strike inside of Russia, another big hindrance to a military. It's literally, hey, you're in a war. Let me put your right leg up behind it. Let me tie that, and put your left arm behind your back, and we'll tie that. Okay, now go ahead into the war and see how you do. You cannot fight a war like that. You cannot fight a war, trying to appease other nations. It's the United States intelligence knew exactly what bases that Russia was striking Ukraine from. They've known for a long time. They've had the intelligence, and they could have easily allowed Ukraine to strike in there, but they, feared Putin's red line that we've crossed about 10, 15 times now and seen nothing in response,
And I think the same resistance and the abandonment of fear is what we need in the United States. Look, I've been in combat. All right, Brian. I've gone into combat many times. You know what one of the worst parts about going into combat is? It's the time when you're sitting in the whatever it is, the chopper or the infantry fighting vehicle or whatever it is, and you're going into combat. You know that you're going to get shot at. It's going into it that is the worst part of it when it comes to fear, because your imagination of the fear and what the consequences of your actions are going to be oftentimes is far worse than the actual event itself. And that's what Putin relies on. And that's what Trump relies on, is that our own fear works against us, that we imagine that their response will be so catastrophic that it paralyzes us, and it makes us not do what it is that we know that we need to do. And that is to stand up to them, and to stand up to them as bullies and say, I believe in this. This is something that I am willing to die for this. That's the thing that, especially Putin, of course, because we're in a kinetic war here. But I think it applies to Trump as well. Is at some point we all need to decide, this is so important to me that I am willing to sacrifice a great deal, including in terms of Putin here in Ukraine, and for Ukrainians, ultimately everything I'm willing to sacrifice, because if they can scare you into abandoning what it is you love or care for out of fear of their aggression, then they've already won the fight. So we in the West, and hopefully I can continue to include America in that, but in the Western world needs to realize that Putin cannot be, you can't acquiesce. You can't, you can't surrender or bend the knee or hope that you can find some. I mean, it's that scene in the Gary Oldman depiction of Churchill, whatever it was, Finest Hour or something, I think it was, where he makes the point, and it's probably apocryphal, but he makes the point: you can't negotiate with a tiger when your head is in its mouth.
It's in his mouth, right.
Yeah, it's already too late. You have to stand up to these guys, Trump or Putin, and we haven't done that. And now we find ourselves in a crisis. And if we, what I am concerned about in this point of time of crisis, this isn't the last crisis we're going to have regarding Ukraine, the Ukraine war, but it is a major one. But if we, in this moment of crisis, let our fear take us to a place where we embolden Trump or Putin, then it's only going to get worse. We have to draw a line in the sand and say, this is something worth sacrificing a great deal. And sadly, I am afraid Americans are about to learn that.
I think we're going to learn the lesson of the Versailles Treaty. I think we're going to learn that, just getting a piece of paper signed by a bunch of people is not going to stop anything. It's just going to prolong it, and it's going to make it a larger conflict, either 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely true. That if we draw up some sort of ceasefire, or even a peace agreement, or whatever it is, a DMZ, whatever, that's only going to prolong the inevitable. That's only going to let Russia go back, lick its wounds, and come back stronger. And equally the same thing with Trump. If we just let him get away with destroying our government, without taking to the streets, without calling our representatives and really getting vocal and really getting involved. The interview I did with this Ukrainian member of the diaspora, Slavi, in Los Angeles, Ukrainian who lives in Los Angeles, in tonight's program, which just premiered, and she made the point, sadly, and I hate to say, she might very well be right. Sadly, Americans are going to have to experience what it is to live in despotism before maybe they get their act together. And what that means is all the things that come with despotism, all the things that, abuses of power, and removing your rights, and if you're not part of the right political persuasion, that you will have real life ramifications happen to you. You won't get.
These are from anti-Trump protests around the United States over the last few weeks. So people are out and about. People are out there. People are making it known. You can see the signs here. You can see the amount of people. This is in New York. All over the place. There's been protests on capitals. There's one coming up for veterans. So, like I said in my opening, I think the voices are getting louder here. But are we going to have enough time, to stop whatever ridiculous policies they're trying to put in place in this situation? Like you said, if you put in place just a freeze, a ceasefire, and a DMZ, you can't possibly think the Ukrainian people are going to live like that. You cannot. Tell me you don't know Ukrainians without telling me you don't know Ukrainians, right?
Yeah, and you also can't imagine. You can't presuppose that that's going to be enough for the aggressor either. That they're just going to be passively sitting by, whether that aggressor is Trump or Putin. Eventually, they're going to come back and they're going to push the limits even farther. They're going to try and acquire more power. I don't know if we're going to make it to the midterms as America. And even if we do make it to the midterms, will they be free and fair elections? Do we have free and fair elections? How
do you have it? I don't see it as being possible.
Yeah.
How do you do it? It's like it's pretty easy to see that not all Ukrainians will be able to vote.
Here in Ukraine or there in the U.S.? Because I think it's compromised in the U.S. as well. I think our elections are under threat in the United States of America.
No, I think you're 100% right. I was speaking about Ukraine. the fact that they're demanding
in Ukraine
elections. It's like how Ukraine, you cannot see that not all Ukrainians would be able to fucking vote. Like it's not that hard to see.
Yeah, I mean we have Ukrainians living under occupation by letter of the law under the Ukrainian constitution. It's illegal to have an election while under martial law, which was legally and judiciously voted upon by the legislative body here.
By the Rada, right?
Zelensky did not install martial law. The Rada, the parliament, voted with its own powers invested into the Rada. They themselves voted to initiate martial law, fully knowing that under martial law, elections would be illegal. Now, the Rada could gather for a session and put forward table a motion to amend the Constitution to allow presidential elections to happen. But they're not doing that because they don't feel the need. It's their choice. Who the hell is it for Donald Trump or any other leader anywhere in the world to tell Ukrainians, no, you must have an election, when they themselves have it within the capacity to do that if they wanted to? But they're not going to because the country is unified in conditions of war. So,
I don't think we can stress that point enough. Right. I don't think you can stress the point that you just made enough. The fact that it was the Rada that voted to install martial law, not Volodymyr Zelensky. Right. It wasn't Volodymyr Zelensky came in and said, "Okay, martial law." Like Hitler did when the Reichstag burnt down. It wasn't like that. So that's a huge point. That's a huge detail that people need to know, because it's not like he is. And again, the irony that he's fighting against somebody that's been in power for 27 fucking years, that has killed God knows how many people, that has interfered in God knows how many elections, right? I mean, is fucking laughable. This whole thing that we're even talking about, Putin is fucking laughable.
Yeah, Putin, who manipulated the Russian constitution to go into a prime ministerial role, only to then return for more terms of the president. I mean, that's just, that's an abuse of power, absolutely. Whereas here in Ukraine, they've had 6 leaders since the end. I believe it's 6. It might be 7, but since the fall of the Soviet Union, and they've had even more legitimate elections in that period of time. So, it's laughable to say that Zelensky is a dictator. This is all 100% legal. If people want to actually really, the story of how that happened. Now, in the next coming weeks, we're going to have somebody on. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next, we'll have somebody on the show who is an expert in electoral law here in Ukraine. But if people want to go back and look at the episode, I believe it's 16 or something, where we had a member of the RADA on the show, on our show On the Edge. Kira Rudik was kind enough to come and sit down with us. And she tells the story of the day that they did that, the day that they voted in martial law, and what it was like to be in the chamber, in the parliamentary chamber, while they were making the vote for martial law. There were paratroopers at the gates of Kiev. The bombs were falling, and they didn't know whether or not the parliament building was going to be a potential target. So they were rushed. The guards at the building said, "You can do this, but only do it quickly and get out, because we don't know if we're about to get hit or targeted." So they got a plenary. They got enough people to take the vote. And she tells the story, and I really, really recommend checking out that episode, because it's really moving the way she depicts it. They're sat in the parliament, and they're weeping, and they're voting, and they're singing the Ukrainian national anthem while Russian bombs are dropping on the city. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew the ramifications of what it is they were doing, and they still, as divided as the parliament is, and make no mistake about it, the second that martial law is lifted and the second the war is over, they'll go back to fighting amongst themselves. There's an old saying: you put two Ukrainians in a room, you'll have three arguments. They'll go back to that, but right now they're completely 100% unified, and they knew it on the day 3 years ago today, or 3 years ago, almost today. They knew exactly what they were doing as the full-scale invasion began, that they were giving up some of their rights. They were going into an emergency posture because they were under existential threat, and yet they still did it. They decided to do it, fully conscious of the ramifications of it, and to be doing that with the sound of explosions outside the windows and singing the national anthem. It isn't just Zelensky. This country is filled with heroes, and they know exactly what it is that they're defending themselves against. And we take it for granted. And sadly, as Slavi said to us tonight in tonight's episode, sadly, I'm afraid that Americans are about to get a taste of what it is that the Ukrainians were fighting for, have been fighting for so much, and why they took that action that fateful day in the parliament, because despotism sucks. Okay,
we're about to touch the stove. We're about to touch that hot stove and find out for the fucking first time.
We really are.
Just how hot it is, and that we need to keep our fucking hands away from that flame. Right? I mean, we're that little kid that fucking ran up to the stove and reached up there and learned for that first time that, hey, I can't touch that because that hurts, and that's fucking not good. And we're gonna have to learn it just like that, unfortunately, because we didn't listen to our parents. If you want to keep that little roll going, it's just we're gonna have to learn the hard way. It's sad. But the moment Donald Trump was elected, it was kind of, I think, set in stone that the United States was going to have to, learn this the hard way. There's no other way to really say it, to tell you the truth. I got a question for you, though. Fatigue. Yeah. You came in and you talked about how tired everybody is, right? It's 3 years of nonstop bombs, alarms, air raids, family members.
Everybody's
dying.
Lost somebody. Yeah, everybody's lost somebody.
It's so fatigue is another huge enemy that we're up against. It's I think what got us in Vietnam. The Americans lost the will to carry on the fight. They lost. They were fatigued of the battle. They got sick of it. They didn't want to support it anymore. I'm afraid that we may be entering territory like that, and I'm not saying for the Ukrainians, but maybe for Americans. I'm just hoping that we're not so fatigued with this that we are in the spot we're ready to say end it at all costs, no matter what Russia gets, no matter how much they gain more respect on the world stage from this when they really shouldn't, no matter how much Ukrainian territory they have to give up. Like, we just want to see it stop, like you said, just total freeze, DMZ. like, and again, that's us. I feel like learning the hard way, because it's just if you don't think there's gonna be little skirmishes, if you don't think there's gonna be little back and forths and something every day that could possibly set it off again, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Well, no, I mean, it's going to be worse than that. The Ukrainians won't stop fighting. They will not be forced into I believe they will not be forced into a ceasefire that doesn't guarantee them security moving forward. If they're not guaranteed, and by that I mean like, instant NATO involvement, almost like an Article 5 agreement for Ukraine, they won't accept it, so they'll keep fighting. And I've said this for a long time. So the alternative.
You don't think they're willing to give up NATO at all? You don't think like that's
well? No, I don't. I think there might be a way for them to not become NATO members, but to get guarantees so that the war is not
right.
Russia doesn't just go away for 2, 3, 5, 10 years, whatever it is, and then they come back. They need security guarantees. Otherwise, they won't stop fighting. So my point that I'm trying to make is, if America is unable, because I can see getting to a place where America does say, especially under Trump, how unreasonable are these Ukrainians? We're just going to walk away regardless. And we tried, and it's now on them. Ukrainians, sadly, as much as it breaks my heart, I think the overwhelming opinion here is, and I don't think I don't make the point that it is 100% of people who would do this, but the vast majority would support continuing to fight, which means that with the withdrawal of American support from Ukraine, it will not stop the war. All it will mean is that we have just absolutely hobbled Ukraine's defense, and it means that a lot more people are going to die, and a lot more people will die brutally, because Russia, as it progresses into occupied territories, will slaughter people. They'll literally slaughter people. This will be a genocide, and I use that word decidedly. I've been to Izium, I've been to Bucha, I've been to Hostomel, and I know the history of the country, and I know the nature of the Russian people and their society. They will allow that. They won't blink an eye. One only needs to look at the Holodomor. They're willing to let Ukrainians die in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands, and they'll make it happen. The Russian.
Now, do you believe that?
Is the West? Well, let me just finish. Is the West just going to sit by and watch that? A massacre? Because it will be. This will be a genocide. This will be a full. This is already a genocide. By definition, by the UN Charter definition, we're already in a genocide. The only thing we're lacking here is the mass executions. And if Russia is allowed to expand further into Ukraine in order to put down Ukraine, because there will be a partisan war, there'll be an insurgency, there'll be a guerrilla war that'll happen, they'll have to resort to the drastic tactics that they've used in their past. The Europeans rend their clothing over Srebrenica in Bosnia, where the UN monitors turned a blind eye to the Bosnian Serbs killing, I don't know what the number is, but 10,000
Ratko
Mladic, who did it. Yeah, the Bosnian Serb military leader, real scumbag. The Europeans are still rending their clothing about that. They're still deeply ashamed of what happened. Srebrenica will be nothing compared to what the Russians
think he was the last war criminal
Ukraine.
Tried at the Hague.
Mladic?
Ratko Mladic. He might have been.
Yeah, he died in a cell. He never faced judgment. He died in his cell.
You couldn't be more correct.
The point I'm trying to make.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The point I'm trying to make is that we can't stop the Ukrainians from fighting or not fighting. That's not in our capability to do. We can put pressure on them, and maybe they will acquiesce. But if they don't have security guarantees, they won't stop fighting. So our option is not to force the Ukrainians to accept a peace proposal or a ceasefire that doesn't provide lasting resolution of the conflict and lasting peace and security measures. They'll keep fighting. So then what are we going to do? then what are we going to do? Just sit on the sidelines and watch, genocide in Europe in the 21st century? Trump has not thought this through. He doesn't, and he broomed everybody who had any expertise in the State Department regarding Russia and Ukraine because they
Even
were.
Bessent.
Yeah,
Even Bessent. Russia. The Russian propaganda channels have been laughing at the fact that Bessent has been kind of swept aside after he came out with his strong rhetoric against Russia when it first came out. But since then, he wasn't even added to the the envoy team that went and met with the Russian and who the hell was it? Sorry,
Riyadh.
I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, right. So, I mean, the fact that they're laughing and they recognize the fact that he's not included anymore and that it's become utterly pro-Russia in their rhetoric and policies that they want to put forward. I don't know if you saw earlier, but I showed Vladimir Solovyov just literally talking about how Donald Trump gets his information from Vladimir Putin. Playing a clip of Donald Trump saying, okay, the things he just said there came only after he met or his people met with Russian, dignitaries. So, I mean, it's
phone
pretty
call,
clear to me.
Call with Putin. Yeah,
correct. So it's clear to me that they understand exactly what the hell is going on. I mean, they've been gleeful. I don't know if you check out Media Monitor on YouTube.
Yeah, sure.
For the last couple weeks, it has just been nothing but joy and glee and just happiness over Donald Trump's rhetoric and his phone call with Putin, and he's calling them first, and it's just everything seems to be going their way as far as Donald Trump. Everything's coming up Russia as far as Donald Trump is concerned, and I think he's absolutely taken the mask off in this situation. I mean, we talked about Russia, and the Mueller report, and people can question that if they want. And you could have questioned up until this point if Donald Trump had any affliction or affiliation or love for dictators and Vladimir Putin specifically. Now you have your answer. There is no more guessing in this situation. There is no more, hey, is Donald Trump aligned with Putin and Russia? It is. Donald Trump is aligned with Putin and Russia. How are we going to defend against that, and how do we deal with that? So and
does it align with our values? Because
right.
Make no doubt about it, there is an ideological difference here as well. The Russians don't believe in things like inalienable rights or the fact that that they are anti-democracy. Democracy is sloppy and messy. Autocracy is the way to go. That's their mentality. Are we going to join in with that mentality? Is that who we are as Americans? Do we just chuck the Constitution away? I mean, there's a reason why the Lincoln quote is at the end of every episode of On the Edge. Do we let the MAGA types who have always been with us, whether you call them MAGA or the KKK or the Confederacy or the nativists or the America Firsters, they've always been with us since the inception. And, the quote I have at the end of every episode is, if they really do take control of our country, then what the hell difference would it be to go to live in a place where at least they don't pretend to have liberty like Russia? Lincoln wrote that in 1855. This isn't anything new. This is an inflection point of, do we want to be a democracy, as difficult and as sloppy and messy as it is, or do we want to just say fuck it and become just like every other dictatorship or autocracy or fascist has been in the history of the planet? And I say no.
If we continue to push Ukraine into a corner and give them basically put them in a we have nothing to lose mentality, then this situation's we can only make it harder for Ukraine to fight, right? We cannot stop them from fighting, like you said. We can only make it more difficult for them. We can only make it so it's turning into a militia resistance, sporadic fighting, hit and run type of thing, and it's not going to stop, right? Even if you do this DMZ, even if you do this freeze, the same thing's going to keep going. Ukraine's going to keep fighting for their homeland. I mean, drawing fucking imaginary lines in Ukraine is not going to stop the will of the Ukrainian people. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? And Phil, if I can, I'm just going to play a 2-minute clip for you, and then I'd like to get your thoughts on the other end if I possibly can. Let me see if I can do this.
If I can see it, if you can share it with me.
Yeah, I'll throw it up on the stage
Between
here.
Russia and Ukraine, people are being killed, mostly young men, mostly Russian and Ukrainian men, at levels you've never seen before, thousands of people a week. And I've spoken to President Putin, and I think that thing is going to end but it's got to end. It's a horrible, horrible thing to watch. I'm dealing with President Zelensky. I'm dealing with President Putin. I'm trying to get the money back or secured, because, Europe has given $100 billion. The United States has given $350 billion because we had a stupid, incompetent president and administration. 350. But here's worse. Europe gave it in the form of a loan. They get their money back. We gave it in the form of nothing. So I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up. And I'm going to try and get the war settled, and I'm going to try and get all that death ended.
Now, Phil, your camera's not on. I don't know if
my camera battery died, but you should still be able to hear me.
Yep, I got you. No worries. But I mean, is anything that he just said that we just listened to true? Anything? And did you notice how it went from "I'll end this war in 24 hours after being elected. I'll end this war in 24 hours after taking office. I could end this war so easily. Just get him in a room." Do you hear how the rhetoric is now changing? Where I'm going to try to end this. We're going to try to end this. I mean, on top of the extortion. On top of the lies of how much we've sent, on top of the lies of the EU getting guarantees on money back, I have the articles here that show you break down piece by piece what is guaranteed, what is not guaranteed, and I think it's like $3-point-something billion for the EU is guaranteed in return, as opposed to the multiple billions of dollars that they've given to Ukraine. So nothing so far of what he said is true. There's only a couple more seconds. I want to just play it out, and then I'll get your thoughts, Phil, please.
So we're asking for rare earth and oil, anything we can get. But we feel so stupid. Here's Europe. And it affects Europe. It doesn't really affect us, except we don't like to see two things. Number one, how Biden got us into this thing in the first place. Terrible. But why is it that he didn't ask for equalization? Europe should put up more money than us. But even if you said the same.
All right, we get the point. But
moron.
It's just, it's. Have you ever heard a president, a head of state come out and so blatantly try to extort another nation that is currently at war? I mean, to say, I want rare earth mineral, I want oil, I want whatever, give me anything. You know what I mean? For a guarantee that money wasn't guaranteed in the first place. For money that
and it's also
United States to build.
Yeah, mostly went to United States. It provided jobs in the United States of America. That's where that money, the vast bulk of it, has gone to Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, and we're sending over stuff that has been sat in our stockpile that actually we had to pay for maintenance and upkeep, and we would have had to dispose of the munitions to a cost to the taxpayer. But that is never, of course, that's not something that your average American is aware of. And for Trump to make this transactional is, as everything that he does, so short-sighted. Because if Ukraine loses this war, do you know how much more of European GDP will have to go to defense spending? It's going to be a huge amount. And that cost is not something that Donald Trump apparently takes into mind. I don't know if America is going to strengthen its defense spending. And this idea that we're protected by the oceans. We're not protected by the oceans. Those days are long gone.
I mean, this is all happening as they're trying to gut the Pentagon, though, right? As they're talking about going in,
that's right.
Elon Musk to go in there and gut the Pentagon. All this is simultaneously happening. So, for Donald Trump to be I can't even fathom how ignorant you have to be to say that this war has no effect on us because of fucking oceans, right? To not understand how countries and global trade and how everybody is interconnected now. It's unfathomably ignorant to think that if you want Russia to control the breadbasket of Europe and how much a fucking loaf of bread might be or how much pasta might be if Russia is controlling the price of grain, Not only that, but if the added power that they would have would absolutely affect Americans, would 1,000% affect Americans in the wallet, and also probably in our elections that have more power to control our elections. It would be an absolute disaster. It would be an absolute disaster.
First and foremost, the largest non-North American trading partner that we have is the European Union. And if Moscow dominates the European Union, how do you think those trade deals are going to go? So there's that. If you really are talking about dollars and cents, but aside from that, to think that our oceans are going to protect us from the modern warfare, which in many ways is information warfare and hybrid war, then of course the oceans aren't going to. I mean, I argue that Donald Trump got into the Oval because of Russian intelligence warfare techniques back in 2016, and I feel very strongly about that. I know people in my 25 years as a producer for CBS News and other major networks. I got to know a lot of people that work inside of our intelligence community, guys that were public affairs officers in Afghanistan or Iraq, and now that the wars are over, they've transitioned into intelligence public affairs, and they know how the sausage is made. And a lot of those guys have said to me in no uncertain terms, the Russians are inside our body politic. They are attacking us. Our elections are under attack. Lots of the stress that comes from the border, the immigration issue, that's exacerbated by Russian military intelligence officers. They do it in Africa to put stress on Europe, and they do it in Central and South America to put stress on America, to get a reaction from reactionary right wingers. The immigration issue, while not solely, of course, being conducted by Moscow, a huge part of it contributes to the immigration issue that we have that got Trump into office, which is exactly what Moscow wants. So, to think that the oceans are going to stop the hybrid war that the Kremlin has been conducting against America for over 15 years, probably more like, well, I mean, you could really go back into the Soviet Union, but they've been attacking us for a long time. We're at war with Russia. I know lots of people get upset when I say that. But we are currently at war with Russia, not because we declared war on them, but they declared war on us, and they're acting accordingly. The sooner we wake up to the fact.
It's just the people, though. You know what I mean? It's like the people of the United States are at war with Russia, while the leader of the United States is helping the leader of the people we're at war at. You know what I mean? It's such a unique dynamic.
Well, because he's compromised
that we're now seeing, right?
Yeah, well, no, he's compromised because he's part of the war. He's part. Let me see if I can get back on here. I get my camera back on. I gave it a little bit of juice. But no, he's part of the problem. He's involved. He is compromised. He's compromised by. Right. Yeah, he's got. I'll do it this way. He's compromised by the Kremlin. And look, we can go into, kind of like, when did that start and how did that happen? Some people will tell you it was all back, way back in the 80s when he went over with Ivanka. And that's possible. That's entirely possible. I mean, there's a thing about, and it doesn't have to be, he's a Manchurian candidate sort of thing. There are varying degrees of what the Russians do when they indoctrinate you and when they bring you over to their side. And it's not necessarily that there was a explicit agreement between him and the Kremlin, although I wouldn't count that out either. But regardless, he's got a lot of Russians in his orbit, and he has a lot of ties to the former Soviet Union and people who were from the former Soviet Union. And not to be I tread carefully here because I don't want to be seen, as a just outright Russophobe. But if you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. And he is surrounded by power players from Russia and the former Soviet Union. I firmly believe that he is more interested in a world that is run the way Moscow wants things to be run than he is a supporter of America and the American Constitution. And I don't think
I'd still
that's
love to know
too
the
risky a
exact
thing to
reason.
say.
I would love to know the exact reason, because I heard you and Hal speaking about it, and it's a great conversation to have, because it's like, we thought at first it was, something about money, how he admired how much wealth Putin had accrued from stealing from his people, from stealing from the oil companies, from controlling everything. We thought it was that, and then he made billions from his meme coin, right? So we kind of thought maybe that was off the table, right? Maybe he would start being a little more, he would start playing hardball a little more against Russia, because it wasn't so much a financial gain anymore. He was all set, right? But that didn't seem to happen. It seemed to do the opposite, right? So my theory is maybe this whole meme coin thing isn't as liquid as he would hope, right? I think he sees maybe some issues in even getting that money out or having that money in his hand somehow, and he's still kind of betting on Putin. That if he allows Putin to stay in the arena of geopolitics and to regain a little respect on the world stage, that he'll get some sort of kickbacks somehow. And we've heard many times now, Donald Trump's brought it up, jokingly, supposedly, about running again, and how he should run for a third term, and what would, should he do it, and asking the crowd, and just throwing it out there lightly. And I know everybody thinks he's fucking joking about it now, but at some point, wait till that turns serious. Wait till they actually try to enact a law that says presidents can run for a fucking third term. I wouldn't be surprised. Would you be surprised? I would.
Or no, not at all. Or alternatively, change the Constitution so that not naturalized Americans, born Americans could run for president. And then Elon can be our president, because it's not just Trump; it's also Elon. And I think Trump is getting to a point in his life, and maybe he goes for a third term, but that's just to stay out of prison. He's not involved. He doesn't care about this stuff. But Musk and also the people who surround Trump are fellow travelers with the Russians. They have the same mentality that democracy is a thing of the past, that it should be abandoned. It doesn't work. I mean, look into Musk's history, and he is literally, the guy who's at the wheel, and he believes in the abandonment of democracy and replacing with a technocratic autocracy. He believes that guys who are dealing in high end technology, and that the technologists should be the one, and don't give people the vote, because what the hell do they know? Look into his history. Look into his family's history. It's deeply disturbing. His philosophy. Yeah.
I've looked into his father's, and Hal gave a great breakdown the other day on his show about his father's history and his grandfather's beliefs, and how this all started. We've heard dribs and drabs. Oh, Elon's from a fucking what is it called? I don't even, emerald mine, right? He's got the money from that. And, you've kind of heard dribs and drabs, but when you dig into it, right, a lot of things start making sense. Like, a lot of things start clicking. The dots start aligning when you're like, okay, why did he make that decision? Or why is he doing that? Or, why spend $40 billion on Twitter to control the what was considered the town hall, the public square of speech, and where media goes and where people go to get the meat. Like, now it kind of seems like we know why he did that now, whether it's profitable or not. It's now, I mean, did you hear they're going into Fort Knox next? Did you hear that?
Yep.
I mean,
if guys want to watch, I don't want to plug somebody else's podcast too much. I'm too busy plugging my own on the Edge every Sunday, 8 p.m. But there are a pair of comedians that do a podcast, a historical podcast. It's called The Dollop. I don't know if you maybe have heard an episode or two.
I have.
They do a 2-part deep dive into Musk and his family history, and it's incredibly funny, which is always nice, but it's also deeply disturbing when you really dig deep into his family's history about the racism, the fascism, You can dress it up how you like, call it a technocratic autocracy if you want. I don't care. It's still fascism. And that's
that Nazi
who we
salute,
have
right?
initiated. Yeah, and that Nazi salute, that wasn't a mistake, man.
Starts to make sense. And the fact that he has it down pat and it was like a perfect friggin' Nazi salute, the way that they would have taught in the fucking SS school. I mean, it goes to show, a lot of people would just put the hand out to do it. And obviously I'm not going to do it, but to smack your chest first, right? Like to make a thud on your chest loudly, to grunt and then do like it's a specific way that he did it. And it starts to make sense. And the fact that he is now, hand in hand with Donald Trump and getting into every sphere of our, the deep depths of our government where, people that work in these places aren't really political at all. They've been there for fucking, some of them 20, 25, 30 years. They know how the system works. They're trusted. And now all of a sudden it's Elon Musk and fucking 7 19-year-old virgins that are high on ketamine, I guess, that are getting into our treasury, getting into Fort Knox, like to make sure the gold is there. Like, do we not have cameras? Do we not have a fucking, is there no CCTV in Fort Knox where you can be like, hey, yep, it's right there. You can see, see all that gold?
Mnuchin, do you remember Mnuchin going into it with his dominatrix wife?
Yep.
With freaking PVC gloves on? That was in the first Trump administration.
Right.
Biden sometime in the middle of the night, somewhere during his 4 years, rolled up a bunch of trucks and loaded up the bullion and stole it away. Mnuchin was there. What the hell are you talking about? You maniac. Look. Okay, so look, we're almost at the end of the show here, right? Now it's too late. It's past if you're already watching this show or my show or Hal's show or whatever else, if you're involved in trying to keep aware of what's happening, now's the time. This is the clarion call. This is all hands on deck. Call your representatives. Get out on the streets. Go to protests. We will not have a nation. We are losing our democracy. We are under attack, not only from foreign enemies, but domestic enemies. Now is not the time to wring your hands and be afraid or hope that it'll get sorted out. Somebody else will take to the streets. Somebody else will call the representatives. Somebody else will, advocate and spread the word that this is happening. We're under attack. We're under attack from a puppet of the Kremlin that we have ownership of. That I'm not absolving Americans of their responsibility by saying that we're under attack by the Kremlin, but we are under attack by the Kremlin. And Donald Trump is an asset of Vladimir Putin's. They see the world the same way, at the very least. This is it, guys. This is no time to be passive. This is no time to hope for the best. This is time to take action. And it doesn't just mean watching a podcast. It means doing something. We all have to do, or we're going to lose our democracy. And if you shrug your shoulders and say, how my government works is really, I get up, I go to work, I come home, I kiss the kids, I play with the dog, whatever. Right. How does this affect me? Eventually it will affect you directly.
Well,
every single
to end
one.
on a positive note,
if you're an American voter, get to work.
Right. To end on a positive note, I am very, very happy to see that a lot of people, not only in my chat, but in Hal's chat, have talked about them going to protests, have talked about how much they've been calling their representatives, have talked about how they are getting involved in more ways than just watching our show or just watching Hal's show or just watching Midas Touch. That stuff is great to stay informed. But the action, and I know not everybody has a ton of time to do it, so whatever time you have, fit in. Like if you only have a time for a couple phone calls, if you're that busy, make a couple quick phone calls to a couple representatives. Takes probably 3-4 minutes. Say, hey, listen, I just want to let you know, me and my family and everybody around me supports Ukraine, and we will not stand for appeasing Vladimir Putin. It could be a 1.5 minute message. If they don't answer, if you talk to somebody, be nice, don't swear, don't be aggressive, get your point across very clearly, and that could be that. If that's the time you have, that's great. If you have time to go to a town hall, awesome. film it, put it online, send it out there. If you have time to go to whatever meeting that you could possibly go to, a protest, like I said, make sure you can do what you can do in the time that you have in your life. Phil, I want to make sure that everybody is watching On the Edge podcast every Sunday.
And then I'm on with Hal every Wednesday and Saturday, and then I'm
I was
on
just going to
with
ask
Tom Hartman every Thursday, and we're actively starting to campaign to get us on as many different podcasts as possible. I spoke this week with Midas Touch, with Fred Wellman on his show on democracy. I'd love to get on with like Ken Harbaugh. Or more outlets on the Midas Touch, because that's another thing we can do is spread channels that platform and that focus on helping Ukraine. And so if any of your audience, Brian, would like to push out what we do it On the Edge, we'd be happy to have it. And if we can get on more podcasts, a rising tide lifts all boats, and our intent is to keep doing what we can to get out the word. So that's
Fred is great.
Promote. Yeah,
I love Fred Wellman, and I can help you get in touch with Ken Harbaugh if you like. I also have Jake Bro coming on the podcast Wednesday night.
I've had Jake on my show. Jake is a great guy. There's Ryan Macbeth that I'll reach out to at some point. He would be great to talk to.
And you spoke to R2 Rady, correct?
If you've got Ken, I'd love to talk to Ken, because Ken's been here. And so short of that, I'd love to talk to him.
And without giving away too much, hopefully something else will happen in the near future as well. But yeah, I can absolutely help you with that. I'm very excited to talk to Jake Bro. You spoke to Artur Rehi, who is one of my favorites that I've been following for a long time as it pertains to Ukraine.
I have an episode with Artur, and I have an
checked it out, my man.
Jake. Yeah, and I'm trying to get an episode on with Anna from Ukraine, who's out in Lutsk, on the west side of the country. But yeah, I would like to spread the word, so I'm trying to get on as many different podcasts as I possibly can as we move into unbelievably and sadly a fourth year of this war. We're going to have to double down our efforts, because the president of the United States works for Vladimir Putin, and we're going to have to double our efforts, quadruple.
Our efforts. I hope you know how much that not only I, but speaking for the chat as well, appreciate your perseverance, your action in this situation, keeping us informed. We hope you stay safe. We thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. I know the time difference is hard to get it right with us in the States here. I hope to stay in contact with you as much as possible. You are more than welcome on this podcast anytime you want, and I will send you Ken's number. I don't think you would mind that at all. I think he would be very happy to get in touch with you and to speak with you. If we can make that happen, that would be perfect.
Thanks, Phil,
I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Good talking to you. I suspect we're going to get an attack. I suspect we'll get attacked tonight. It being the third anniversary, the Russians tend to do things like that, so we're anticipating that. So I think it's going to be a late night anyhow. So all good.
Much love to you.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on. Please spread the word. Everybody in the audience, get active, even if it's just spreading the word. So thanks for
buddy. Hopefully someday soon I will be saying hello and goodbye, maybe face to face.
We'll have you in the studio if you do. All right, pal.
I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, Phil. All right, how about Philip Ittner? Thank you so much, guys. Give it up for Philip Ittner. Make sure you guys are checking out On the Edge. Honestly, some of the best content pertaining to Ukraine, how you get such in-depth insights on how the people are feeling, right? Instead of just guessing, instead of just talking about how you think they feel, Phil sits down with these people, sits down with leaders in Ukraine to see what their actions are, what they're feeling inside. He does a great job at it. So make sure you're checking that out. I really do appreciate you joining me, Phil. Thank you very much. I know it's not easy. Again, he's live from Kyiv. And again, we could talk about, the strikes on Kyiv pretty much nightly, as you heard from Phil. So God bless you, Phil. Hope you stay safe, and we'll speak to you soon, my friend. All right. So it's a little past. I know I didn't get the show started on time. Maybe I could do. What's up, Adam? What up, dude? How are you, buddy? Mahalo. What's up, Soulcraft? Hi, Susie. What's up, Mello? What's up, William? Yvonne, how are you? Janelle, Rachel, Clover, SFL. How are you guys? I appreciate you. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're sharing the show. Subscribe to the channel, please. I keep saying we're on our way to 15,000, but we should probably just try to get to 12 first. I think that would be the smart thing to do. I don't want to get over my skis here. You know what I mean? All right. So I am pro-Russian. I doubt it. That doesn't make any sense. Hold on. Time out. You're gonna have to explain to me on that one. You're gonna have to explain that one to me. How? Why? I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. All right, let me see if there's something that I can, if there's one clip that I could do, and I will get you guys out of here. I really do apologize. Let's see here. Oh, what a sugar show in the beginning. How about we do this as a little tribute? I'd like to do this one. See if I can add this one to the stage. This is just a little tribute. It's hard to find a tribute, like a little montage tribute to the Ukrainian military that doesn't have copyright music on it. You know what I mean? I wanted to try to find something we could play. This is the best I could come up with. Hope you like it. All right, just a nice little tribute to the Ukrainian military. Like I said, it's tough to find a video that doesn't have copyright on it, like some copyright music. West thinks it's propaganda, and in some ways it is. But guess what? It's motivational, and anything you can use as what we call poster board material. In sports, if your opponent was talking shit during the week, right? If an article came out of the opponent talking shit, you would pin that on the fucking board and you would use that as inspiration, right? And then you would go out there and smoke their ass, right? So that's what that's all about right there. Just wanted to give a little shout out to the Ukrainian military. Slava Ukraine, Heroyam Slava, Privet, mi druzha. You're very welcome, Paula. You're very welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. And let's see here. We could probably go to this, finishing it out. Let's see. This will probably be a good way to close it out here. Excuse me. Let's see here. I'm going to go to Kyiv Independent. Death toll. Jesus Christ, I typed like a third grader. All right. Is this the newest ones? No, that's not the newest ones. Way more than that. What's the current number, chat? What are we currently at for Russian losses? I gotta find the newest one. I should probably just go to news. This is 6 days ago, 1 day ago. Russia has lost 800,066. Oh, baby. Let's see. I'll share this with you guys here. Oops, sorry. That was still on the screen. Let's see. I'll share this so you guys can see it. 866,000. Go ahead, share it. Why won't you share? There you go. Add to the stage. How are you? All right. So, General Staff. No, later. I'll do it later. Russia has lost 866,000 troops in Ukraine since February 24th, 2022. Let's see here. There you go. Yep. That number includes 1,140 casualties Russian forces suffered just over the past day. And Donald Trump likes to say, oh, thousands of deaths a week. No, it's thousands a day, brother. Thousands a fucking day are dying. Thousands of people a day. Russia has lost 10,000 tanks, 10,161 tanks, 21,139 armored fighting vehicles, 38,234 vehicles and fuel tanks, 23,528 artillery systems, 1,295 multiple large rocket systems, 1,080 air defense systems, 370 airplanes, 331 helicopters, 26,331 drones, 28 ships, and a fucking boat. Oh, and a submarine. Fuck. Good God. I just to calculate the cost of this would be astronomical. And again, we can't sit here and think that the losses on the Ukrainian side are like not in some way comparable, right? So we have to keep that in mind too when we talk about losses in this conflict. We have to keep in mind just how many people are actually losing their lives. So yeah, 866,000. There's probably an exact number. If you go to Kyiv, I wonder if they just have it. War analysis, Russia's war analysis, maybe. We usually just get that online, that little thing. I don't know where they put that out, to tell you the truth. War crimes investigation, country video, Eastern Europe opinion, war. See, Ukraine warlord is Zelensky willing to step down in exchange for peace. Russia launches largest drone attacks and started the full-scale invasion. I mean, he's saying all the right things, right? If you want an election, all right, make it so that we can have an election. We'll have an election. You want me to step down? I'll fucking step down. Whatever it takes to keep our people safe and to keep the fucking weapons flowing in so we can defeat Russia. He seems to be saying all the right things, right? In a difficult position. In a very difficult position. But yeah, do you guys know in the chat where on the Kyiv Independent they actually put out that that graphic that shows the breakdown of losses? I always have trouble finding it for some reason. Images. These aren't up to date though. Let's see here. Russian propaganda banning hey rock and roll China in Russia so they can see the lies. Anybody know where on the Kyiv Independent 800,000+ families and friends? What a waste. Yep. MAGA doesn't care about anyone that is different, not their own end. Yep, Crystal. Women rule or they should rule. I'm with you, Rosanna. Blue Sky maybe? Yeah, maybe I could check on Blue Sky Velvet. Good call. Let me try that one. Let me try that one. Let's see here. Google it. All right, Sheila. Don't yell at me. No yelling, Sheila. I'm just kidding, Sheila, by the way. Oh, thank you, Yakov. Look at Yakov spreading the... you get a retweet right now, my friend. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, let me type in Kyiv Independent. Here it is there. There it is there. Let's see here. Scrolling. Here we go. All right. Share this tab instead. So we're now past 866,000. It's 867,180. That is counting the 1,180 Russian troops that were lost on the battlefield over the last 24 hours. And again, we went over these numbers. You can add another 12 to the AFVs. You can add another fucking 100 to the fuel tanks and vehicles. another 7 tanks gone, another 54 artillery systems, 117 UAVs, another MLRS, count it, anti-aircraft warfare, count it, another 3 special equipment, count it. I mean, this is an out of control number right here. Again, I don't think Americans will ever be able to really fathom like what it would be losing almost 1 million men in 3 years. I mean, and that doesn't even include the fucking vehicles, fuel tanks, rocket systems, anti-aircraft systems, right? Tanks. It's an unbelievable number. It really is. And, if we're going at this rate, it's going to be, it won't be long before we hit that 1 million man mark for Russian losses, which, again, something I never thought that I would be covering in my lifetime as somebody that, has, in some sort of, passion for World War II, right? To watch that in black and white and to read the books of how everything went down and to watch the documentaries and to see it firsthand, right? And then to be waking up every morning and looking at my phone and seeing it happening in fucking real time today. Tanks, trenches, fucking artillery systems. Not exactly like it, but it's fucking damn close, right? It's a complete mind screw every time you think of it. And then you add on the Palestinian plight in the videos you see that were coming out of Palestine, and you still see coming out. I never in my life thought that I would have to sit behind a camera with a microphone to cover, basically the same type of actions that I'm watching and that I'm studying, right? So, all right, I think I'll let you guys go. Let me make sure that I talk. Oh, thank you, Tom, to help you go full time and to get out to Cali. Oh, Tom, you're the fucking best. You guys are the best. I don't have it in me to like actually like start a fucking fun. You know what I mean? To like say I don't know. Just I can't stand asking for shit. I'm really not a big fan of it, but at some point you do have to lean on some friends and family. But all right, let me get into thanking everybody. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Who's first? Sheldon was first on the list. Appreciate you, Sheldon. It's all good, he said. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you guys. And again, sorry for the tech issues in the beginning. I'm sorry. I'm happy I finally figured it out because I was about 2 seconds away from fucking ripping this mouse out of the fucking laptop and just not doing the show for today. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate you being here. 10 months. Appreciate you having confidence in me. Yakov, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you sharing the show on Blue Sky. Hope everybody gets out there. And if you're on Blue Sky, just share it out. It's easy. It's pretty easy. Thank you, JD. You were loud and clear now. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you always being here. That 13 still confuses the fuck out of me, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. Hi, Colleen. How are you? Nothing is guaranteed. Thanks for sticking with us. No, thank you for sticking with me. You guys really don't know how much it means to me that you seem like you enjoy the show. Seem like you enjoy hearing me talk about these, news stories and geopolitical events and the wars going on. So, it's a pretty cool feeling. So I really do appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys come Wednesday night. So to hear my conversation with Jake Bro, I'm really excited for that. Somebody that I've watched, his updates and his videos on Ukraine for a long time now, and Phil and I listed a bunch of them that you guys should be checking out if you have the time to. Make sure you guys are staying involved. Share those videos out. Make sure other people know that how important it is to continue to support Ukraine. How important it is for us to continue to support Ukraine, how much stake that we do have in this fight, right? If you try to, I think, make it a personal thing to people, right? People that may not care about supporting Ukraine or don't want the money to go elsewhere, right? If you make that a personal thing, if you really, get it down into their senses that, listen, if you let Russia take over this land, you are going to be paying more for the shit that we fucking get from there, right? It's just plain and simple. They will have control over the pricing on the shit, your bread, your pastas, the shit that you make with all the grain that comes from there, right? Try to make it personal. Try to make them understand the imminent threat that they would be under if we allow Russia to continue to grow and gain control, right? Try to make it personal. Maybe they don't care about the Ukrainian people, but they damn sure care about themselves, right? If you're dealing with somebody that's selfish, use that. Use that against them. Say, okay, if I can't convince you by showing you these pictures of fucking dead women, dead children, people fucking carrying everything they own, walking down the street because the Russians are coming, showing you the pictures of the Russians just stealing shit from houses, showing you the articles of the Russians stealing kids from Ukraine and sending them back to Russia. If that doesn't get you, maybe the imminent danger that you would be under would, right? So use their fucking, use their bad values against them. You gotta play with you gotta figure out who you're talking to. You can't have one direct action for everybody. Everybody's different in their own sort of ways. Everybody reacts different. Everybody, is receptive to different actions and stuff. So you got to kind of make sure you're toning it down in some cases and ramping it up in others. All right, Colleen, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sheldon, again. Let's see. Sometimes things are out of your control. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure it was out of my control, but I love that you guys think it was, so let's roll with it. Thank you. Thank you, Sheldon. I appreciate you. Let's see. Rosanna, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. You angel, you. Appreciate that. And I appreciate you being here. Hope you have a wonderful day. Let's see here. Ricky, thank you so much for being here for 10 months. Let's go. My motto, if it ain't broke, it ain't mine. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, Jen, for the $20 super chat. Let's go. We doing VIP tomorrow? It's my birthday. Is it? Let's go. Let's fucking go. And yeah, we do have a Zoom. We absolutely do have a Zoom. Let me see. Appreciate you reminding me. Let's see here. This is the February one. Yep, right here. So 24th. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to have to what? Bake a cake now or something? Huh? 21 again. Congratulations, Jen. Now you can finally go out drinking. Congratulations. All right, Slacks. Let's fucking go, Slacks. How are you, my brother? Slava Ukraine. Love you, Brian, Mel, and Dungaree Dog, Logan. Much love to all the Bryantologists. Slava Ukraine. Right back at you, Slacks. I appreciate you, dude. I hope everything is well. And I appreciate you being here. I really do. I really fucking do. Again, I'm trying to search for better words, for more in-depth words I could use to show my appreciation. But Slacks, I do appreciate you, my man. Let's see, Jen, right back at it. Have Mel fix me. What's that say? VLL3 member, and I'm in grayscale. Honestly, that might as well be fucking Korean. No idea what that means. Have Mel fix me. I'm a Vol 3 member, and I'm in grayscale. Oh, are you saying in your chat? Like when you're chatting, your name isn't showing up like as a member? I think that's what I'm getting out of that. I could be fucking way off, and I do apologize. But I thank you for the super chat. I really do. Jenny Faye, how are you? For dealing with tech issues, switch up, fuck shit, asshole, bitch. See, that feels better. You're doing great, Brian. We're with you. Thank you, Jenny Faye. And honestly, if... oh, man, you guys would probably be more entertained if there was another camera filming me as I was trying to deal with the tech issues. That would probably be more entertaining because there was some words flying. There was definitely some words flying. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Yakov back with another gifted membership. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Everybody that gets a gifted membership, please thank whoever gifted it to you. And then think about re-upping on that membership because there's a join button right below me for $1.99 a month. You can become a channel member. That and Patreon.com are the best ways to help this channel. $1.99, cheapest way. Cheapest thing you could possibly do. If I could get, listen. If I could get all you guys to get $1, if you like, Carl Smith always says, if I could get my subscribers to send $1 each, it would really change things, right? It would be a game changer. I don't expect it, but if that were to happen, it would be fantastic. right? It would really, really change things. And again, $1 from everybody would be fucking, it's easy. Let's go. Maybe. Kind of. Thank you, Yakov. I appreciate it. Let's see. Are you a fan of Vlad Vexler's channels? Damn, you guys always give me these freaking channels. I thought I knew everybody, but apparently I don't. Let's see here. A lot of people I've seen, and I just don't know that I've seen them. Like, I don't know their names, really. So let me see if I can catch a face. Yeah, if I catch a face, I'll tell you. Let's see here. Vlad Vexler, a short film about who I am. What does he do? You are welcome here. My mission is to guide you through the political challenges. Let's see. We all face in the 21st century. I'm a philosopher. My academic life focuses on the concept of freedom, and I'm writing a book about Isaiah Berlin. I'm a British citizen living in London. I was born in Soviet Russia. I left before the collapse of the USSR. I continue to closely analyze Russian politics. Check out my second channel, Vlad Lecter's Chat, where I do Q&As and go into more depth with almost daily content. I also have specialist channels, Vlad Lecter Florian. My content is informed by my experience living with a debilitating neurological condition. I contracted it 20 years ago as a research student at Oxford. For years, I couldn't walk, talk, or read. I manage this condition daily, and it gives me a unique perspective on disability, the tragic element in life, as well as the beauty. No, I have not seen any of Vlad's stuff, but I will be sure to check it out. Let me click on the video so it's in my history so I remember it. And yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you guys. I like you guys always giving me new things, giving me new channels to watch, keeping me informed. So thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Let's see. Sheldon for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much there, Sheldon. I appreciate you, brother. I just came across a certificate of Canadian citizenships of Canada for my great-grandfather. It was dated in 1926. He was born in Zazulins, Galicia, which is Western Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. I appreciate that. Sometimes some of the names are tough, but I'll get them in the end. But that's amazing. 1926, huh? He was born in Galicia, which is Western Ukraine. Citizen of Canada for my great grandmother was 1926. You know what? I'd love to do that whole trace your ancestry thing, right? Like, you ever see when the celebrities get to do it and they sit down with the people that dig deep? And it fucking always ends up that their family owned slaves at some point. Like, I'd like to see how my family went back. I know there was some World War II fighters in there, and I'm sure there's probably more, but I don't know. I've never really done one of those. But thank you, Sheldon. I appreciate that. Maybe you just sparked that in me. Appreciate you being here, dude. Thank you so much. Jen's back at it with another $20. Let's go, Jen. There's a march on D.C. set for 3/14 for veterans and supporters to remove him from power. According to the Constitution, honestly, in any way you can get involved, any way you guys can get involved, please do. Please do. And I appreciate every phone call. I appreciate every text. I appreciate every post. I appreciate you guys watching shows like mine. It's I do. I really, really do. Slacks is back at it as well. Can I get a Slacks? You always get a Slacks. That's all you get is Slacks. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, dude. Let's see. Vaughn's here. Let's see. I'd give more Boston Brian, but I went out to the week Bob Marley night. Let's go. I can't fault you for having a little hangover after a Bob Marley night, right? I mean, what is a Bob Marley night for if it's not for having a fucking vicious hangover in the morning, right? Been there, done that. Talking to an Irish guy from South Boston. Come on. I know how it goes. I have been rushed to the hospital due to a hangover. Oh, true story. All right, thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. I hope you feel better. Like I said, get some hydration in you, some electrolytes. Jen, let's go. Well, I like you guys. You guys, I feel like you're trying to like outdo each other. There's a little battle going on here. I like it. Let's see. Jen says, correction, media outlets. Okay, correction noted. I don't know if that's worth a $10. I don't know if that's a $10 correction, right? Could have put like $1.99 for that correction. I would have been just as happy. But thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. Very, very nice of you. Together we win. Benny Loco, let's go. Very much appreciate you and everything you do. You know it. I'm very glad that people caught on to your video. Very happy at the reaction it got on Blue Sky, and we need more of it. So thank you, Benny Loco. Yeah, continue to fight. Rosanna became a new member. Thank you, Rosanna. I appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. $2. $2. Join button right below me. Hit the subscribe button. That's free. And then after that, you're going to hit the join button, and it's going to say $1.99, sir. If you want to support this guy who has the same values, principles, and beliefs, who doesn't believe the bullshit of the mainstream media, who would absolutely save this country if I was ever put in an elevator with Donald Trump. It's about the nicest way I could say that. Yeah. So, like I said, $2. $2, guys. Thank you so much, Rosanna. I really do appreciate it. And I like Neuropilot. Let's go. I love new names. LTG Budanov should be the next president, right? You know what? There's the good thing is there are what seems to be, some I don't want to say people waiting in the wings, but there are some people Ukraine has that could step up, I believe. If it were to get to the point that Volodymyr Zelensky either steps down or they have elections and he's not reelected, right? So I think the Ukrainian people, again, will support somebody that's competent, somebody that knows and understands the dangers that they face. And as long as somebody continues to fight, like I said, it's always good to have options. So to each his own. Could be right, Neuropilot. I do appreciate the $2 super chat, though. I really do. Let's see here. Michael, what's up, dude? What's happening, brother? Thank you for being there, Brian. No, thank you, Michael. Fuck you thanking me for, dude. You guys are the best. Shit me? Briantologist, the lobsters. I love seeing little lobsters. If I go into another YouTube chat, right, somebody says hi, and they throw the lobsters out there, other people are so fucking confused. You're like, why are people fucking putting lobster emojis? What is that all about? And I love it. I love every second of it. So continue to support other channels. Continue to support, like-minded, progressive-minded people. Like I said, if you have $10 you can take monthly and you want to support 5 different creators at $2 a month, I feel like that's a great way you could help out the community as well. If you don't have it, do the free stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment after the video posts. All of that is completely free, costing nothing, and helps the channel immensely. So thank you so much, guys. And Michael, hell of a guy you are. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Michael, back at it. Time flies. Not 5 months, dude. I'm telling you. We just passed a year. Right? I didn't really make a big deal out of it, but it has been over a year officially since I started Blunt Politics as a live stream, which is wild for me to say and think that I've been doing this for a year. And don't get it wrong, I've been involved in the political sphere way before that. I have TikToks going back, I don't even know how long. Again, I've been in the fight, but as far as Blunt Politics is concerned, it's been over a year. So I thank you guys who have stuck with me. I really, really do appreciate it. And we're going to continue to build this army, continue to build the Bryantologist military, right? The military of Bryantology. Let's fucking go. The Lobster Army. That's fun to say as a Bostonian. Maybe that's it. The Lobster Army. Let's go. Let's fucking go. JD. With the 5 memberships. Let's fucking go, JD. You guys pump me up. I love it. You guys pump me up. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Rachel, let's go. Let's see here. Trump wants to experience another 9/11 type event so he can get global sympathy and start fights against whoever he wants. Again, there's nothing you can put past the man at this point. So I don't think there's any situation that you could create that I would say, no, I don't think that's possible, because I've said that before and I've been wrong. So yeah, again, wouldn't put it past him. But thank you, Rachel. I appreciate your contribution. I appreciate you, your involvement in your activity. I really, really do. And Nordes, thank you, Nordes. Let's go. Gifting 5 memberships. Let's fucking go. Appreciate you, Nordes. You guys are just unbelievably, incredibly awesome. You are. You really are. Alvin Stubby. Let's go. Is it Stube or Stubby? And please tell me that you watch Bob Does Sports on YouTube. Please, Alvin, for the love of God, tell me that you watch Bob Does Sports on YouTube. Because you're going to know Fat Perez, his last name's Stubby. They call him Stu. Anyway, thank you, Alvin. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. Let's go. Stay safe, Phil, he says. I will pass along the message. And I think he knows how much that you guys in the chat care about his safety, his well-being, and how much you guys appreciate what he's doing. I don't know. I couldn't imagine being there for as long as he has under the conditions that he's living under, right? Not having I don't want to say he doesn't have a horse in the race, because he does have a horse in the race. But as far as not being a Ukrainian citizen, right? There's kind of that separation you have where it's like, you're connected, but you're not in the inner circle. I don't know. I guess that's probably one way to put it. But no, we're very appreciative of all the work he does and everything he puts himself through. So we do appreciate it. And thank you, Alvin, for being here for 3 months. Thank you so much. Tammy, how are you, Tammy? So nice to see you, Tammy. I bought Philip Ittner his domain URL. It forwards to his YouTube channel. It can also verify his Blue Sky. Please have him get in touch with me. All right, Tammy. I'll let him know. Absolutely. It doesn't. Oh, is verify his Blue Sky. I gotcha. Okay. I was gonna say, doesn't he already have a Blue Sky? All right. Thank you, Tammy. I will send that message along. I appreciate it. Arizona sunflowers. Let's go. Sorry, it's not more today, Brian. Love your show. If you guys apologize one more fucking time because you don't have enough fucking scratch in your pocket to donate to some Bostonian asshole on the YouTubes, I'm going to get pissed. All right? Stop that. Please. If it's not in your wheelhouse, don't do it. I love the contributions to the channel. I really, really do. I think you guys understand that and know that, but I do not at all want to be taking the last dollar out of somebody's pocket for my benefit. That's not what I'm here for. So like, share, and subscribe. Arizona Sunflowers. Do not ever apologize. Ever. Please. Do not. You're doing far more than you even need to do just with the $4.99. You're going above and beyond. So thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. And let's see here. Tom comes in with the support Ukraine. Thank you, Tom. I think I don't think it's any secret that we do support Ukraine on this channel. I don't think you have to look too far or open your eyes too wide to see that. Not you, Tom, but other people. But yes, thank you very much for the $1.99, Tom. We will continue to support Ukraine throughout this entire endeavor and beyond. I really do appreciate it. Benny Loco's back. We need a million women channel. That's a lot of microphones. How are you going to plug that into the laptop? I would love to see you guys get 5 eggs. Good luck. Try hooking up a million microphones. That's a podcast I'd watch. That's a podcast. No, I'm just kidding around, Benny Loco. Yeah, we need as many women voices as we could possibly have. Make sure you're checking out 21st Century Suffragettes. I think Diane rocked out for 5 hours yesterday? Good grief. Take a break, Diane. Killing it too. Still very impressed, Diane. You're really, really, really good at what you do. Let's see here. So thank you, Benny Loco, and make sure you're checking out 21st Century Suffragettes. Let's see here. Tom's back at it. Let's see here. To help you go full time. Well, again, couldn't be any more spot on. Couldn't be any nicer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Not only the contribution, but the sentiment behind it is very touching and appreciated. Noted, Tom. Well, you went up in my book, my brother. Peter, let's fucking go, Peter. Great to see you back, my friend. Great to see you. Thank you so much for your enormous contributions, your enormous help to this channel. Again, the words cease to exist, I think, to express my appreciation for the people that contribute to the channel, especially in such large ways as as Peter does. Peter's Peter, right? We all love Peter. So thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Do you guys still do Sunday dinner? My grandmother used to love a good Sunday dinner. She called it dinner, but we usually do it like 2, 3 o'clock, right? A little pot roast. What else? A little fucking meatloaf. Used to love Sunday dinners. Damn, I miss her. Anyway, Peter, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, my man. Let's see here. PB. Let's go. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. Yakov coming in with another gifted membership. If my math is correct, I believe that's 3 gifted memberships, Yakov. I do appreciate that. Don't break the bank. Don't break it. I appreciate you guys. See, as I'm saying it, 21st century suffragettes have your back. Ditto. Fucking right back at you. Same Z's, right? Same Z's. Thank you, Nicholas. What's up, Nick? Appreciate that. Hope you and the family are well. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I really do. What's up? Oh, TJ. What's up, TJ? Hey, 6 months. Let's go. Appreciate you, TJ. Make sure you guys check out Trucker John, too. Check out his live stream. He's a great guy. I appreciate that. And another 99. Let's go. Let's fucking go, dude. Appreciate that. And I love you always repping the Boston Brian merch. It's a great guy. We might have to film a commercial or something. I'm going to have to get a commercial out there because the merch is fucking fantastic. I don't know. I know I'm a small creator, right? And I know it's like, oh, guy, he's only got 11,000 fucking subscribers. There's no way his merch. It's good. It's good. Believe me. It's fucking good. You know? Couple minutes on the site, and it's not going to take you long to be like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, that's funny. I need one of those. And it's getdemshirts.myshopify.com. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Trucker John. Let's see here. Who's back at it like a crack addict? Nicholas! Let's go. 11 months. That might be the OG. I don't know. Is there any 12-monther? Did we see a 12-month earlier today? Man, I hope I didn't forget one. But I don't know if I'd... Not quite the whole time. Yeah, you funny bastard. You funny bastard. It's close enough, dude. It's close enough. Right? What is that? Missing one show? Sheldon's back at it. Let's go. Another fantastic show today. No, Sheldon, thank you so much. You guys are great. I don't know how you can call it a fantastic show. I really appreciate you being nice, but the beginning was an absolute shit show. Yeah, it's about the only way I could go ahead and describe that one. So anybody that stuck around, I do appreciate it. I really, really, really do. Sheldon, thank you again. 9 months. It's crazy to think how long we've been doing this. And I only want to grow. That's it. That's all. We're going to continue to grow. Greetings from Montana, home of the Nervous Sheep, retired plumber, and originally from, Springfield, Massachusetts? Springfield, Massachusetts area. What's up, Greg? Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate the $10. Is that like where you go up to a sheep and you can scare them and they just kind of like fall over? Because I need to do that. I need to do that. It doesn't hurt them, right? Because I don't want to be hurting these things, obviously. But I watched a video the other day and I was dying. I didn't think it could be that funny for an animal to just lock up and go on its side. I really didn't. And good on you for being a retired plumber. Thank you for servicing the area, whichever areas you serviced for your career. I'm sure you helped a shitload of people, and I'm sure they're very grateful. So, as am I, Greg. Thank you very much. I hope you come back because we appreciate you being here. Let's see. Joseph, let's go. Joseph Hepler says, former plumber here, get out from under the houses and keep on keeping us informed. I love the plumber party. Seems like we're having a plumber party. Greg is coming. He's bringing the beers. Joseph's coming. He's bringing the food. Appreciate that, guys. I really do. Both you hardworking motherfuckers. And thank you for your contributions. And it's not easy. There's not many jobs or careers that, you're up everywhere from the roof to the basement and everywhere in between, under houses, in the attics, right? Blown insulation. Oh, the guy that invented blown insulation should have bad things done to him. Right? Am I right? Or I don't know if you guys have had to deal with that in your life, but good Lord almighty. But thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Thank you, Jenny Faye. Appreciate the $5 super chat. We just truly appreciate and respect what you're doing and want you to help you grow and get your butt to Cali and pass through India. I'll fix you dinner. I appreciate that. What's like a typical, is there like a typical Indiana meal? Like what is Indiana known for as far as food is concerned? I'd love to know about that. Thank you, Jennifer. I really do appreciate that. I really, really do. Let's see. Arizona sunflowers. Loved every month. Oh, right back at you. It's been 7 months of pleasure for me, Arizona sunflowers, and I appreciate every single moment. Thank you for rounding that out. And that's everybody that contributed to the show today. I do. I appreciate it. Doesn't even begin to explain. the gratitude. Indiana is pizza, especially Mother Bears. Let's see. All right. Now you got me going. Now I got to look up Mother Bears. Type. Well, you're not typing. There you go. Mother Bears pizza. Let's see here. Let's see what it looks like. See what it looks like. Now you got me. What is this? Oh, you got me. Now I'm going to do an ad. This is going to be an ad read. It's going to be an ad read for Mother Bear's Pizza. All right, what do you got? Let me see some photos. Home. Things to do, events, restaurants, stay, play, plan your trip. Plan my trip. I just want pizza. Visit website. Just want to see a picture of the pizza. Menu, apply here. History, specials, home, e-gift. Are there any? I just want to see pictures. Let's see, home. Menu. Did they show you? Now you got me curious, dude. Now you got me curious, Ron. Is it like Chicago-style pizza, Rachel asked? I'm not sure. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But so far, all I see is a bear in a bikini holding a pizza. Why can't you guys see that? Is it this one? Look at this. You guys thought I was lying? What do you mean a bear in a bikini? Oh, so it's like I just want a picture of the food. I don't see anything. But you can get a 6-inch with no toppings for $5.25. All right. Mother Bear. See, you guys, I'm like, my ADD is ridiculous. Like, you say one thing, squirrel. You know, it just never fails. Never fails. All right, I'll let you guys go. I'm way over. Somehow I didn't, I started a half hour late and somehow I still went over. I don't want to see you, Mother Bear. The bear is thirsty. Boston Brian, check my Cash App. What? I certainly will. Oh, come on. You guys are fucking unbelievable. How do I know what happened, though? It doesn't tell me what happened. Who did it? Who's done it? Well, thank you, Tanya. Appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much for that. I don't even know. How'd you get my Cash App? I know I got the Venmos up in the corner if you guys want to kick in a buck or two, but I don't know how the hell you got the Cash App. But I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I've probably shared it out here before. I'm just forgetting. Oh, thank you, Nordez, for another 5 gifted. Look at you guys go. You know, I really could just, sit here and go, "Hi, Treva. What's up? What's uh-oh? Don't uh-oh me. I don't want uh-ohs. What happened? Am I gone? What happened? Why is everybody saying uh-oh? You're scaring me now." Brian, General Kirilo Budanov is the head of the GUR. Yeah, I know. Makes Putin have nightmares. He's a great president, defender of democracy. He'd make a great president. No, I don't doubt it. I absolutely don't doubt it. I'm just saying there are, they're blessed to have more than one option, I think, in that field. That's all I was trying to get across. I think you're absolutely 100% right. Neuropilot. I think you're right. So I wasn't going against you on that by any means. And yes, I'm familiar with Budanov. But I thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. And like I said, there's always somebody smarter than me, probably multiple people at all times smarter than me in the chat. So I always look towards you for the answers. And again, I'm not sitting here preaching or teaching. I'm sitting there learning with you and just, like I said, expressing my opinions. At Boston Brian, will you join us on our show sometime? I've been on the show. I know it's been a minute, but don't be acting like I've been ghosting you. You have my laugh on fucking tape. You have more recordings of my laugh than I do. Danny. Oh, hi, Danny. How are you? Good to see you. Great show. Love you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night on the Zoom. Well, appreciate that, guys. I'm looking forward to it. I really, really am. I can't wait to chat it up with you guys and see what's been going on in your lives. Let's see here. Lastly, I'm going to thank the mods. I'm going to thank Adam, OG Adam. Thank you so much, my brother. Mahalo. Thank you for being here. I hope everything is well. I hope you're safe and happy and healthy. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Tanya, thank you so freaking much. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. And again, anything you need, just let Mel or I know, and I promise I can speak. I really can. Let's see here. Thank you, Andrea, for everything that you do. I really do appreciate you for holding down on Twitch. Let's see. There is Turpy. Turpy's been busy with a bunch of things. He's taking care of himself, which we really appreciate and advise everybody to do so. If you need to take a break, if you need to take a little, hiatus, and then all to come back and be fresh and ready to go, all for it. Mark P, appreciate you, my man. Roxy, Roxanne, all of you guys. Locata, everybody, the whole crew. Christina. Let's see here. Fucking Arizona Sunflowers, Janelle Petrazi, WW Neuropilot, Nicholas, Rosanna Gulf, Marine, excuse me, my apologies. Sarah's Petrazi, Chris, Doug, Jess, Jackie, all you guys. I really do appreciate it. Every single one. And Janelle. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd be sitting there talking to myself, and that would be awkward. So I appreciate that. What happened, Locara? Everything okay? Seriously, right now? What's that mean? I always get nervous. When I read the chat. Captain Terp. Yeah, we love Terpy. We love him. He's a huge part. He's a huge contribution to this channel. I'll tell you that much. He really is. Christina, how are you? Appreciate it. Starts in an hour and 5 minutes. What, your show does? You do one today, too? Did you do a fucking 6-hour marathon yesterday? Christ. You can have no voice for the rest of the week. All right. Yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you guys. Love, peace, and happiness. Make sure you're having fun, but kicking ass at the same time. Slava Ukraine. Heroyam Slava. And again, make sure you're spreading the knowledge and spreading the awareness of just how important it is to continue to support Ukraine and just how dangerous it is for our president to continue to support a maniacal dictator over one of our allies. All right. Zoom. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Anybody that signs up on Patreon at patreon.com, you can see not only my lovely face, but the lovely faces of the people in the chat that have signed up to VIP. And we can just shoot the shit, right? We don't have to talk politics. We can talk cats, dogs, fucking food, whatever you want, right? Just kind of an hour or so to get your mind off of things. And it really helps, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much. What else we got? Oh, Wednesday night, Jake Bro. Come on. Share it out. Tell your friends. Of course you feel seen, Ceres. Why wouldn't you feel seen? I see you guys. Believe me, I see all you guys. And I know it's sometimes frustrating when you put something in the chat and I don't see it. But again, I'm not always looking at the chat. It's not always the screen that's right in front of me. So I'm not always, like I said, able to see what you say. Doesn't mean I don't care about it. Doesn't mean I disregard it. Doesn't mean I don't see you and recognize you and see how much you are involved in the channel. So I do. I promise I do. So, all right. Martha, don't worry about it. Who said they got here late? Christy, don't worry about it. If you got here too late, it'll be up in about 2 seconds. You can rewatch the whole thing on YouTube or Twitch. Thank you to the people on Facebook. Thank you to the people on Instagram. Again, on Twitch, I think, what is it? Subscribe? I don't know. I'm only monetized on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing on Twitch. I don't know about the other channels. I don't know what I'm doing. I just stream out there and hope people watch. But yeah, make sure you guys on Twitch are subscribed or following or whatever it's called on there. And again, if you have Amazon Prime, you can follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, and it won't cost you a dime. Other people say it better. I'm not going to lie. People do say it better, but I'll get it down. All right. I'm out. Peace, love, chicken grease. Let me see. It's got to be one of these buttons, and hopefully this works. God knows if what's going to happen. I might pop back on. I got to remember not to pick my nose because who knows? This might just throw me back on camera without letting me know. All right. I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys. See you guys in the Zoom tomorrow night, and I will see you guys Wednesday night for our conversation with Jake Bro. So thank you again. Have fun, but make sure you're kicking ass at the same time. Thank you, guys.
fuck Nazis.
We always do about this time.
Fucking Nazis.
Tell the director to call the White House. Do your fucking job!
Or go fuck yourself.
Again, there's no... Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. It's one button, Bri. It's one button. It's one button. Oh, I am such a fucking pillock. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm such a fucking goofball. Oh, Jesus. All right. Let's try that one again. Oh, my God. All right. I'm out. I think.
Fuck, Ryan.
Ryan, what the hell?
Get off my plane.
It's tradition. Oh, Jesus. Thank you, mods. Holy shit. Thank you, people. Thank you for coming to do member. I'm such a freaking idiot. Oh, God. All right.
Tell the director to call the White House. Do your fucking job!
Bad news, bad news. Even when it's good news, it's bad news.
I didn't say mud, I said crud. You fall into some crud or something? Taking him back to Nevada where he's wanted for banging horses.
Wrong.
Cacophony, a crescendo, a finale, a coup de grace.
Is there anything worse than white people? White people are a mortal danger to you and your loved ones.
Like we always do about this time.
You will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
What is happening? What is happening? Why? Why? It won't let me leave. It won't let me... Oh. It just won't let me leave. Help. SOS. Beginning. I don't want that one. What is going on? Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Turn them off! They're too bright! Turn them off!